WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Back in the studio, back in the saddle. Yours truly, Fearon Derry, alongside the ever-mobile Lucas Twitch DeSangro.
Mobile. That would be nice. God.
Well, I mean, because you're always on your phone. No, I'm mostly kidding. I'm also
No, you're not mostly kidding. Don't lie. Don't try and play me. All right.
No, I was referring to your rite of passage that you had earlier this week. That I don't know how much you want to get into. So.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, the sign language that you can't see here in the studio, although that may change soon. That's something that we've been kicking ideas around about, and maybe we'll get some feedback on the Facebook feedback and possibly not only being on the air here, but also possibly broadcasting the show on Periscope, doing some live streaming type things. Or maybe just some commercial break behind the scenes action to kind of... Yeah, to kind of hear us cut loose, uncensored, and uncut, uncensored, uncooked.
I'm saying, well, this is what I want to get into.
Without the FCC regulations.
This is what I want to get into on the fan page. Is what would you guys think of doing? Maybe like once every couple months, Fearon and I do like a web exclusive episode uncensored. Let me know what you guys
uncensored.
think. Because this
you just want to let F-bombs fly.
That is not the case. But just the banter we have off the air is hilarious.
The banter we have on the air is hilarious.
Yeah, but imagine the banter we have off the air being on
the unfiltered banter.
Letting the we already have somebody calling in. This is hot news.
This is a hot take here. Is that where you're going with this? All right, I'll go ahead and let you get that. And philosopher Chris Ermer making an appearance here. I don't know. Oh yeah, just peeking his head in here. Just shutting the door to. Oh, okay. Trying to help us out here as best he can. That's. Always good that he's here. He does so much here for the station. He is absolutely awesome. Oh, you're back on here.
Full of glory and renown.
Of course, the philosopher Chris Ermer, full of glory and renown, our engineer extraordinaire here at WBCB, and it's always good to have him in the fold.
Yeah.
As far as things go.
But seriously, I want to hear what you guys have to think. Throw some ideas out there for us. We're trying to always expand and make this show as fun as possible, even though I think it's pretty fun already. But, that's just me.
Oh, is the philosopher coming in to hop on? Yes, he is coming right for the microphone. Oh, boy.
I'm back now because I saw something recently that it was one of the best promos that I've seen in wrestling. It was like the Miz show, right? But they had like a whole collection of guys come out as guests of The Miz, who I love going all the way back to the real world. Like, he was like a reality, that's where he got his start on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole punchline was like the final guy came out at the very end and didn't even know what he was coming out for.
R-Truth.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I'm so glad you picked up.
I knew exactly where that was. Yeah, no.
It was hilarious. It was such great TV. I was flipping around the dial, and I landed on that, and I'm so glad I did. It was like so fresh, so funny, and I thought everybody who was on the Miz show came off very well. Like just they seemed like you could relate to them. It wasn't over the top, and I don't know. I just thought it was totally.
Yeah, the
legit.
Miz TV segments have been very hit or miss, but that one was definitely a hit.
I do want to say of R-Truth and Goldust. Can we make this be like the next?
The Golden Truth?
Yeah, can this be like the next R-Truth and Goldust and Booker T, please? Like, can that was hilarious. I think the segments they've been having, Goldust starting twitching again. You know, I thought that was great.
I can't imagine why you'd like that.
Twitch.
That's enough.
Yes.
Out of you,
Liking the
Fearon.
Twitch. All right, well, I had to just jump. I'm going off to do some high school basketball.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be with us about a little over an hour from now. Downingtown East in Pennsbury High School basketball here on 1490 WBCB.
Yep.
I was going to say, you're not quite Lucas's alma mater, as you're still there. I don't know what
still is my alma mater. Just.
Well, that means that you previously were there, but you're currently there. So I don't know the Latin for that.
Before we get into Latin.
Before we get into the Latin philosophy, the philosopher's out on that. Oh, very good. Okay, we can also bring down the philosopher's theme then. I love how different people who pop in on the program have their own themes. That's
what's Mike Samsels is the Austin Powers. Wow. We
gotta get him back in here.
Seriously,
this is his time frame. This is his like prime Fugazi wrestling fan time period.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is when he and wrestling are cuddle buddies. It's nice.
I know those were words out of his own mouth.
Yeah, it's
all right,
not the exact words, but yeah.
Oh, this is true. We had to clean those up for radio.
Yeah, I know.
And this is where you're going to get back to the point of, well, if we had the uncensored web exclusive, then we wouldn't have to censor it for radio.
I wasn't going to say that, but while you're there, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Famous last words.
No, the famous last words are right this way, Miss Lewinsky.
Oh, you're terrible. All right,
line.
Yes, I know.
We can use that, right? We just did.
We gave appropriate credit, so I guess it's fine. All right, so the Royal Rumble this past Sunday, obviously, both of our favorite events of the year. A lot that came out of it, including me actually coming somewhat ahead on the picks.
Woo! Yay! Wait, no, boo! You stink. Why would you beat me? This is not fair.
I need revenge from last year. Granted, it was only by one pick, so if we're going over an aggregate score of 13 months, we're even again.
The best part about this is our prediction starting to go wrong is like our version of the El Generico Kevin Steen rivalry. Just like the one thing I can't stand is waking up knowing that Fearon beat me in predictions this time for the pay-per-view.
Don't worry, we're only about 3 weeks away from Fastlane, so that'll be the chance for me to get ahead and for you to not get ahead. Or something like that. But yeah, it would have been even more. I went 4-2 on my picks. Should have been 5-1 if I didn't talk myself out of the pre-show match. I had said Mark Henry and Swagger. I could pull up the audio, but I'm not going to.
Please don't.
Beating the Ascension, Darren Young and Damian Sandow, which was both of our picks, and the Dudley Boys to qualify for the Royal Rumble match. Although, needless to say, neither of them fared all that well. And that's one of my statistics that I'll get into. Oh, that's another big thing. Some Royal Rumble did you know?
Did anybody hear the pop that Sandow got?
I would imagine quite a few people did.
And it's sad that they didn't put him in the Rumble because, like, just by getting in the ring when he was, like, didn't even make a tag, he just got in the ring and people started going
ballistic, yeah.
What are you doing, WWE? Please, Sandow.
Oh, I love our listeners on the Facebook feedback.
Really
Eric from the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Wait just a second. I wake up and Lucas is back in studio once again. What is this world coming to? Have we gone to plaid? Spaceballs reference, yes.
It's Planet Spaceball. They've gone to plaid. Ludicrous speed.
It feels like this show's in ludicrous speed because we're already a couple of minutes away from our first time out, and we just go off on so many tangents. So Dean Ambrose still Intercontinental Champion after winning the last man standing match. New Day still your tag champions after beating the Usos for what feels like the 78th time in the last 6 months. It does.
No, it does. Wait, what? I'm sorry. What were we talking about? It just knowing WWE, I was going to agree with what you said, but what feels like the 7th time in the last 6 months?
New Day beating the Usos?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sorry. I spaced out for a second, but then I heard you say that, and it's like it's probably true. It's WWE. It wasn't because I was looking at my phone. I was looking at the Facebook fan page.
As I had already read it to you, so there was. Oh well, you had to like it. Okay, as I see that you've liked it.
Yeah.
We could have done that during the commercial, you know.
I don't care.
Of course you don't.
You're going to give me crap this entire broadcast, Faran? Or am I going to have to reach over there?
Are you going to give me reason to give you...
Am I going to have to come over there, Faran? Like, walk right around this table and probably not hit you, but give you a stern talking to in between commercial breaks?
Oh, we should be up on Periscope, the things people miss. All right. Callisto is your new U.S. champion, beating Alberto Del Rio. I missed on that one. Lucas didn't. Charlotte, still your Divas champion, beating Becky Lynch. And I did get that one and you didn't. And the winner and new WWE World Heavyweight Champion and winner of the Royal Rumble, Triple H. Not advertised, but not really all terribly surprising, unless your name is Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So we'll get some factoids going a little bit later, and then we've got to talk about The Rock appearing on Raw this past Monday. We'll get into that. We'll get to... All right, we'll take care of the timeout, and then we'll get to Ed from Northeast Philly on the other side, because I know he's been waiting. A few things to get into.
Couple of debuts, too.
Yeah, we've got the Rumble debuts. One WWE debut. Well... Technically, if you want to be like some of the internet bleepity bleeps,
Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, Sunday Night Heat back in like 2002 or 2003 or Velocity or let's leave Mark Kayfabe out of this.
You might as well just say that Dean Ambrose was there too. Stop it. Just
I love that John Moxley
with his pink hair and what the heck was up with that? I watched that it was just weird.
A lot of us in our youth have made follically questionable decisions, myself included.
Yeah, not me, though, because,
Well, you're still in your youth. You still have time to make follically questionable decisions.
I'm not going to make those follically questionable decisions.
Have you looked in a mirror lately? Anyway...
You're so lucky we're on the air right now, Faran.
I know I am. Some news to get into. A Hall of Fame ring sale that was a publicity stunt. Also, Nikki Bella going under the knife.
And not in the way you'd think.
What? No. This is... Yeah. You would think that. Oh, sweet mercy.
It's not really something you'd think at this point. It's like it's a given.
There you go. No, it's not in this case. We'll tell you what that's about. Also, Batista brought in to discuss a Mania appearance.
Ooh.
I don't know if you heard about that, but we'll tell you more about that. All that and a bunch more, including a litany of Rumble facts. Just to name a few. Plus, got to talk about last weekend at the Monster Factory for the Show Goes On special. As you know, we were pre-recorded last week, or well, not even we did pre-record because we didn't know what the heck was going to happen between the factory show and Winter Storm Jonas. It turns out it dumped 22 inches on us or something crazy like that. Yeah, that is certainly a large measurement to say the least. But the event was fun for those. I think it's available on themfnetwork.com to check out, or at least bits and pieces of it. There's going to be a 4-disc documentary chronicling the whole weekend and all of the lunacy and insanity.
The whole weekend that I didn't get to go to.
Well, you had finals that you were working on for school.
I aced my finals and I barely studied. I'm going to say that right now.
Oh, good for you.
I'm going to say that. Look, I'm going to say that right now. And we didn't even stay. You guys didn't even stay on Sunday. You got to go home. I could have studied then. Just putting that out there. I understand my parents being, concerned for my well-being, but,
As the old commercial went from back in the day, it's not nice to fool with Mother Nature.
Mother Nature interfered with my wrestling. She and I have a score to settle.
Oh, dear. Well, while you're working on settling that score...
You can never mess with my wrestling. Never.
especially when it comes from the world-famous Monster Factory.
Exactly.
541 Manto Avenue. There's a lot of big things happening, including this Wednesday, February 3rd. There's a free open house to all who are interested in training. So if you want to join us down there, here's your opportunity. Plus, if you join that night, you'll receive 25% off of tuition. That's a pretty damn good savings. Also, 1 week from tonight, the show goes on at the Monster Factory. For those who missed the Blizzard event, check it out at themfnetwork.com. The weather looks pretty good this Saturday coming up. To check it out in person, Vinny Marseglia making his factory debut against Nick Camarado. Plus, in tag team action, Paid in Full squares off against the Down Boys. Plus, Monster Factory and WWE alum Cliff Compton will be in action. And every fan who buys tickets online in advance will be granted backstage access after the event on February 6th. Meet the wrestlers, see what's behind the curtain. You might even get to see Lucas and me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're usually at the concession stand, so they see you anyway, but I'm
Selling
usually turning...
pizza.
I'm usually turning the knobs and dials and making sure that all the entrance musics are good.
I don't even
Which
get...
there's a funny story about that, which is told in greater and more profane detail in the documentary. But
It's probably...
or should I just save the story? You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll save it. If you want to hear what happened with the sound thing and how I almost lost my effing mind, definitely want to buy the documentary. Check that out at monsterfactory.org. As well as all the other great stuff that's going on there. The litany of ways to check them out, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I know we're a little bit biased because we're both there. At 4 Monster Factory. And then, what is it, Monster Factory Pro TV on YouTube?
Yes. Yes, it is.
You'd think I'd have all this in the back of my head, but...
Yeah.
I
You
don't
think
know.
I'd have all this in the back of my head? On Twitter and Instagram, 4 Monster Factory. We're at 4 Monster Factory.
And then Monster Factory, or the world-famous Monster Factory on Facebook.
Yes.
Have we gotten enough mentions of Monster Factory out there?
Yes.
Monster Factory. Jinx.
Ah.
All right. In the meanwhile, Lucas is going to regather himself and probably beat the living tar out of me. And we'll be back with Ed from Northeast Philly. We'll get to him right on the other side, and then a litany of other fun facts here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
He's got
man.
the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking cape. I'm going to break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
One thing that is fun, though, is Pro Wrestling Weekly, the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio, closing in on 17 years on the air.
Yeah,
That's a couple weeks away. We got to figure out we got to do something special for
We
that.
got to
I
get
don't know
somebody
what.
on the show. We haven't had a guest on the show in forever.
In a while. Yeah, I know. I've been a bit of a about that. Yeah, that's as far as I. Somewhere I think Sean Lerman just lost his mind yet again.
What do you mean by that? We kept it clean.
I know he knows that I can teeter up to the line of decency, but I think he's waiting for that one time where I just go that little bit too far, and then trouble occurs, and I'll be taken off the airwaves, and that won't be fun. That won't be fun.
Well, that's for both of our sakes. I'll lose my job too. I can't do this on my own. I just sit here and talk. I don't do anything else.
You don't do actual work or anything.
I know, seriously.
Like research or, running the board or anything.
I know, it's scary.
That's one way of putting it. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the look at the local scene courtesy of Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, what's going on?
Good afternoon. WWE Raw is coming to Philadelphia March 21st,
Oh, not too far away from WrestleMania.
and tickets go on sale next week.
Very good. Unfortunately, I was going to say, I know I won't be able to make it.
And Triple WA was rescheduled to March or not March, February 6th at the Best Western.
Oh, were they supposed to have a show last weekend?
Yeah.
And I was going to say a lot of
cancellation.
oh, almost everything was canceled with one exception.
And
Wonder what it could be. Yeah.
Fearon has a doubleheader tonight in Northeast Philly.
Oh, very nice.
And the Wrestle Factory, 4700 Mingate.
Okay, and that's in Northeast
Right off
Philly.
of Tarshill Avenue.
Yeah, that's definitely Northeast Philly.
And the Lex Express was rescheduled. That pay-per-view party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's rescheduled for February 21st.
Oh, for the Fastlane pay-per-view.
Yes, at Nick's Roast Beef.
Oh, excellent. Okay, maybe that's something we can do. See if we can get Lex on the week prior for the anniversary celebration. I don't know. Okay, I'll have to make some phone calls. See if I can talk to Maddie Mill. See if I can make something happen with that to get a little extra promotion for that particular event for the pay-per-view.
How about doing a live remote from the arena?
What was that?
How about doing a live remote from the arena? If you're interested.
You're not the first person to suggest that to me, actually.
What's that? April is
for the April 16th thing. I'll have to talk with the powers that be here at BCB and make sure that we don't have any other scheduling conflicts, but I don't see why not. I mean, the Monster Factor will be represented. Danny Cage, the owner, will be down there. Abyss will be down there, along with a litany of other names. Shawn Michaels, I know, one of the headliners of that. That's a lot of that's being put together with Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore and Rob from RF Video. So I know they're putting a lot of that stuff together. It should be an insane time. So if that's something that we can make happen, which there's certainly a good possibility, but I just got to make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed before I make anything official or confirmed. One thing that I can pretty much 99% confirm, though, is that we're going to be broadcasting live on location next week from the Monster Factory.
Yeah.
Because there's an event later that night, as we talked about heading into the break a few minutes ago. And in order to make call time and not worry about our obligations here, we're going to kill two birds with one stone and broadcast live on location and see if we can maybe get a word from some of the Monster Factory stars as they make their way into the building to prep for the event that night.
That'd be a fun time.
Yeah, it'll certainly be something different. Plus, since they're always coming to me, hey, when can we get on Completely Damaged again? I'm tired of being thought of as the Completely Damaged guy. No offense, RC, but a lot of the guys at the factory know me more from Completely Damaged from having them on there than from this fine established program.
Even though you plugged it like 50,000 times on that show. It's like, seriously, why? How do they not know you as... I'm not doing that as a knock at you, I'm just saying.
No, that's just a bonus.
You'd think it would stick.
I don't know. But, you know what? I'm just going to pull that one back.
Yep, you better. On the air.
Yeah, I know. Word'll travel fast, and next thing you know, I'll be getting a few stiff shots in the upcoming weeks.
That's about it.
All righty. Thanks so much, Ed, for the phone call. Always appreciate the look at the local scene. So, some Royal Rumble facts and tidbits from this past Sunday's event that I think you might be intrigued by. Did you know that this was the 5th Royal Rumble pay-per-view to come from the state of Florida?
Really?
And the second to be hosted in Orlando.
Interesting.
Last time the Rumble was in Orlando was 1990, as well as this year. It was in Miami twice, in 91 and 2006, and it was in Tampa in 95. Some other Rumble facts. This was the 3rd Royal Rumble match where the winner came from slot 30.
This was the 3rd Rumble match, you said?
Yes.
3rd.
The other two were?
2007 and 2008.
Yep, Taker and Cena, respectively. Very good. Here's another one. Triple H is the 6th wrestler to win more than one Royal Rumble match.
Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, John Cena, not Undertaker, I'm thinking. Austin Michaels, Cena, Batista.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second.
This should be one of the more obvious ones.
Hogan
There you go.
and
That's it. Those are the other five.
what you said? Oh,
Triple H is the sixth.
oh yeah.
Did you have to look at your hand to see that there was a 5 count there?
I
that
thought-
you
I
had
thought-
counted 5?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Consider myself.
Yeah. The other note, Triple H also has set the record for the longest gap between victories of those 6 individuals. 14 years between his first and second Rumble
Jesus
wins.
Christ, 2002 was 14 years
Was
ago.
14 years ago. And the previous record was Batista with 9 years. So how about that? Also, 2 Rumble competitors broke the 50-minute mark in time spent in an individual Rumble in 2016, the 11th and 12th men to do so. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to name the other 10, if that's where you thought I was going with that.
Well,
Chris Jericho spent 50 minutes and 50... No, we're not going there. It'll take too bloody long. Jericho spent 50 minutes and 50 seconds in the Rumble. Roman Reigns spending 59 minutes and 50 seconds, which for Reigns is the 3rd longest time in a Rumble match by a non-winner.
who holds the highest?
I was going to ask you that very question, just for curiosity,
Why
for
non-winner?
kicks and giggles. The longest time in a Rumble match by someone who did not win it.
Bulldog?
Not the British Bulldog.
Wasn't he number 2 in the 95 Rumble?
Yeah, but they were only 1-minute intervals in the 95 Rumble.
All right. Austin?
No, this one's going to be a toughie. At 61 minutes and 10 seconds.
Wait, what year is it from?
93.
93. Not Savage. Savage wasn't number 2. No.
No, Savage was he was the last eliminated by
Yokozuna.
by Yoko, but
No one knows why he went for the pin. I'm stumped.
yeah, this is the tough one. Bob Backlund.
Ooh.
This was prior to his heel turn when he was still kind of doing the same gimmick as when he was champion in the late 70s and early 80s, but it was a complete anachronism in the neon 90s, to take a Jay Hunter line. Some other Rumble facts courtesy this week. Career Ironmen. 6 wrestlers have each spent over 3 cumulative hours in Royal Rumble matches, like over the course of their whole career.
Yeah. Ziggler?
Ziggler is not one of them.
3 cumulative. Okay. Michaels. Sorry, Michaels.
Michaels is in 3rd with 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 30 seconds in 12 different Rumbles.
Austin?
No. Austin had too many title matches.
Yes. What era are the other ones from?
Well, it's kind of a tough one. I'm trying to figure
What
out how
era
to...
were they most prominent, I guess you could say?
Well, that's part of the problem. Really, 4 of these individuals, you could say, were in multiple eras, which makes sense because they were around for a really long time.
Well,
I was going to say, this is a little bit... All right.
I want to.
You want to throw some of those out there? I mean, we don't want to just make this complete trivia.
There were 4, right?
There were 6 men who have spent at least 3 cumulative hours in Royal Rumble matches. Michaels is one of them. I will say that 4 of them are still currently active with WWE right now.
Jericho?
Jericho is in 2nd with 3 hours, 55 minutes, and 59 seconds between 9 Rumble events.
Triple H.
Triple H is in, he has the record 3 hours, 59 minutes, and 37 seconds between 9 Rumbles. So he's just shy of the 4-hour mark by 23 seconds. This almost feels like a Family Feud type thing.
It really does.
Top 6 answers on the board to this question.
Show me Shawn Michaels. Bing, bing, bing. No. Oh, God, he's pulling up the sound effects.
I might be. It's a possibility.
It's not a possibility. It's a definite.
Okay, it's a definite.
Don't.
So Triple H, Jericho, Shawn Michaels.
The Rock. It's The Rock? No, he had too many title matches.
It was not The Rock.
Okay. Mr. Perfect.
No, Perfect didn't. His back was knackered pretty early in the Rumble run.
Flair.
No, although Flair did have the one where he went over an hour,
But he's been in a couple of Rumble matches. At least later in his career, he was.
A couple, but no.
All right, I give up.
Well, all right. This one should be fairly obvious because he's been in 19 Royal Rumbles. Kane. He was in 4th place.
That's messed up because when I think of the Rumble match, I usually think of Kane.
Yeah, I was going to say, somewhere Ryan from Northeast Philly is weeping.
It's like, it's Kane, Lucas. It's got to be Kane.
In 5th place, he may not be competing in anymore and he'll be stuck in his position probably because his knee is blown again. R.O.N. Mastriot. No, Rey Mysterio with 3 hours and 20 minutes and 1 second in 7 different Rumbles. And one who can definitely climb up the ranks, Cody Rhodes / Stardust, who has 3 hours, 8 minutes, and 30 seconds in 9 Royal Rumbles.
Wow, imagine that.
Well, he came in really, really, really young. So that, I think, has a lot to do with it, because he's what, 30?
He's only 30. I keep thinking he looks either young for his age or I can never tell. I think he's either too older than he actually is or younger than he actually is.
He's been around a really long time.
When did he debut in like the in WWE? It was like 2007, right? He had to be like
something like that, yeah.
Like in his early 20s, like barely
like
in
22. Maybe even 21.
Now that's a young upstart.
Well, it helps when your father is a Hall of Famer and your older brother is on his way there, Daddy.
You know what the thing is, though? Like,
if you will.
Rhodes is a talented wrestler, too, so it's like the
Oh, no, he's not just getting, he's not just getting the namesake, and he's not like Greg Gagne or something like that.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about, like, generation wrestlers that really can back up their legacy in the ring.
I see what you did there because he was a member of Legacy.
Yeah, along with Ted DiBiase Jr. and Randy Orton.
I don't know if that was an intentional pun, but if it was, then kudos to you.
It was and wasn't.
A winner is you, sir. There, I got my sound.
Give that man a can of Coke.
Oh, goodness. All right, I was going to say, time's going really quickly here, so I'll get a few more of these out. Let the bodies hit the floor is what I'm calling this one. Kane extended his career lead in eliminations by tossing R-Truth, bringing his total to 44 eliminations for his career in the Rumble. Reigns ousted 5 competitors to get to 22 in only 3 Rumbles, tying him for 8th place with... Yes, John Cena. Triple H threw out 4 wrestlers to move into sole possession of 5th place with 33, and Big Show holds 6th place with 31 following his tossing of Ryback and Titus O'Neil. This I thought was an interesting stat. The Wyatt family combined for 11 eliminations in this pay-per-view. How many of those do you think Bray Wyatt had?
0.
0, yeah. Braun Strowman eliminated 5, Luke Harper threw out 4 people, and Eric tossed 2.
I was going to say, why does he have to eliminate when he's got people?
He's got people to do that.
We work, so Bray doesn't have to. Joking, of course,
Kind of like this show. I work, so you apparently don't have to. There you go, bite your lip.
That's not true.
Bite your lip, it's all right.
I make the show, I help the show be entertaining. I'm not saying you don't make it entertaining. I'm just saying I help.
Yeah, it's about putting in the work.
It's enough out of you, Fearon.
I know, I'm being a little too savvy today. Yeah. All right, well, Now that I'm done making myself look really strong, here are two people who looked really strong in the Rumble. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, they were tied for most eliminations this year with 5 each.
You know what the thing is? Like, what was I going to say? Darn it, I lost my... I want to see how much of a combined weight the Wyatt family was in the ring. Like, they were all in the ring at one point. They're all some big guys.
It would not surprise me if it was over 1,200 pounds. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to 1,300 pounds.
I think that, like, I feel like Bray should have won. I don't know. I would have liked to see Bray win the Rumble because imagine him as, like, a top heel.
Mm-hmm.
Him as a top heel would just have, like your friend Brett said, like, just send tremors to the WWE locker room. Just have it change over time, and then somebody step up and, like, it's like Voldemort.
The question
almost.
is, has irreparable damage been done with that, though? That's the question. Just because there's been so much back and forth, kind of even Steven win-loss. I don't know. That's another debate for another day.
Send in to put people over.
I guess. I don't know.
At such a young age, he's already been like that guy that's just elevate people.
Possibly. I mean, time will tell. Speaking of time, though, it's time for me to tell you about my friends over at the Broken Goblet Brewery. This weekend has plenty of happening at the Goblet at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol. Like today at 4 o'clock, everything is firkin' awesome, as a new firkin will be tapped. No, I'm not going to play the song again. I did it once. Once is enough.
It's fine.
Yeah. I'm in a whistly mood today. I don't know. This week, it is a strawberry cream ale that they're doing. Look at my lips at the thought of it already. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, it's the return of Kinky Quizzo. Free to play, trivia for dirty minds and sexy nerds. Right up our alley, eh, Lucas?
All
right. Plus, every Sunday is board game day. Bring your own or play one of theirs. Also, next Saturday is the T-Cision 2016, where you can decide the fate and flavor of the 2016 edition of Bubba's Tea Bag. That's just some of the delicious insanity going on at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, January 30. On this date in 1991, WCW held its Clash of the Champions 14 Dixie Dynamite Supercard. In the main event, Ric Flair fought Scott Steiner to a time-limit draw in a match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2005, WWE held its Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In the main event, Batista won the 30-man Royal Rumble match. On this date in 2011, WWE held its Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In the main event, Alberto Del Rio won the first and only 40-man Royal Rumble match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, January 30.
This is Jim the Anvil Neidhart of the Hart Foundation, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB, baby. Yeah!
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro here. Talking mostly Rumble stuff. We got a lot of news to get into as well. I don't know, do we want to get to the news? Yeah, we'll get to the news and go back to the Did You Knows if time permits, because we tend to get distracted a lot and go kind of on all kinds of tangents. Like we do. So where to start here? Well, we'll start with some of the stuff I was teasing about earlier, like WWE Hall of Famer Tammy Sytch. We talked about her quite a bit last week. She said on Twitter that the idea of selling her Hall of Fame ring was merely a publicity stunt. When a follower asked why she would accept the induction only to sell the ring, Sytch tweeted, quote, "I didn't sell it, idiot. Ever hear of a publicity stunt?"
Wow, you're so classy. Such a role model.
Sonny showing. Well, I guess as far as her demeanor on Twitter, she was sunny side down that day. Get it? Because the
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's
Unfortunately, the people who are saying like, "Oh, you're gonna induct Sunny, but you're not gonna induct China." Well, yeah, because Sunny did a porn after she was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
whereas
So
China, well, yeah, we know how things have been with her, and the less we say about that, the better.
Yeah.
So we'll get to a diva that people want to hear at least a little bit more about. Former WWE Divas champion Nikki Bella, who revealed in a WWE.com interview that she had successful neck surgery this past Wednesday. She said in the interview, quote, "I have a pretty badly herniated disc in my C6 and C7. We are hoping that a bone fusion will fix this injury, which will make mine a little more complicated than others because a piece of my disc is behind my vertebrae." Ouch. Nikki noted that she will wear a neck brace for 3 months and won't be able to get inside a ring for at least 6 months. Yeah, neck injuries are no joke.
Wishing you the best of luck, Nikki. Despite whatever WWE Universe says, you really had a hell of a performance this year.
Well,
really-
for 2015. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
She really did, though. She
No, she
really
did.
stepped up her game. Her and Seth Rollins, like, I would say, give most improved.
Absolutely. Also, former WWE champion Batista met with Vince McMahon backstage at the Royal Rumble in Orlando, according to ProWrestlingSheet.com. The story states that Vince made a pitch to get Batista for a one-off non-wrestling appearance at WrestleMania 32. Batista passed on the offer, but left things open for additional creative ideas. Now, Batista, part of the reason he probably turned it down is that he is set in the very near future to film the Guardians of the Galaxy sequel.
A couple of them, actually.
Well, I don't think they're filming them back to back. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like...
But he's getting ready to film the next sequel shortly.
That's another thing. I got to give props to Batista because he did really well in Spectre, even though he
The
didn't
James Bond movie.
he didn't really say much, but like, you know, he's really stepped up his acting game, and that's great. I'm happy he did Guardians of the Galaxy because I like Batista, and it really stepped up his, like, you know,
It put him on the map
yeah.
as far as Hollywood goes.
Yeah.
Somebody who, well, has...
In fact, I'd love to see a segment between Batista and The Miz. Talk about, like, you want to talk about actual A-listers, Miz.
That might be something a creative might go for down the road. Who knows? Speaking of going, I guess, from one end of the map to the other, TNA management sending Awesome Kong home from the UK tour following a locker room incident with Rebby Hardy yesterday. Rebby or Reby? I
don't know. I really don't.
With Mrs. Matt Hardy. There we go. That's the way to get around that. Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com reports that Kong threw Hardy's bags out of the locker room and wouldn't let her dress there due to previous issues between the two.
So she kicked her out of the locker room, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she didn't even use the hashtag social jobbers.
blocked.
See what I did there?
Not blocked.
Banned. Very good. The situation escalated, and TNA officials reportedly made the decision to send Kong home. Man, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, huh?
No kidding.
Oh, yeah, there's nowhere I'm going to... Okay. And finally, WWE announced a multi-year national partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America designed to further enhance youth development across the country. BGCA President and CEO Jim Clark said, quote, "We are pleased to partner with Vince McMahon, a Boys and Girls Club alum, and the WWE organization to educate club youth around bullying prevention." It ties in with their whole Be a Star and all that other stuff. And Vince added, quote, "WWE is proud to partner with BGCA and support their efforts to build future leaders. As a proud Boys and Girls Club alumnus, I know the difference this organization makes in the lives of our youth." Fire 'em. No, it's about as much as I got for a Vince quote today.
Yeah. We still haven't talked about who debuted in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was getting into it with my statistics because that was one of the things that I was going to get in there. AJ Styles having an impressive 27 minutes and 53 seconds in his Royal Rumble debut. And that is an impressive time, but as far as people in their first Royal Rumble match, it is the 22nd longest time. I spent most of the morning researching this and going rumble by rumble.
There was I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a video that Vince Russo had posted about like how debuting AJ Styles in the Rumble, isn't the right move because not a lot of people know who he is. And I thought for a second, that for once Russo actually made sense. And I'm not knocking Russo because he's one of the best minds in the business, but he's also had some questionable moments. But I also remember the Royal Rumble was in Orlando, which was also where NXT is, where you have some of the hardcorest of hardcore wrestling fans. Right?
Plus, I think that the Royal Rumble has become a destination pay-per-view similar to, but not as big as, WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of people who, because the Rumble is their favorite event of the year, will travel for it.
Oh, yeah. So people...
Plus, how many people up here with this whole blizzard thing would have rather been in Florida all weekend as opposed to being up here with 22 inches of snow?
True. And let's put it this way. Philadelphia, New York, like even Chicago, Orlando, like those are the places where you'd want to debut somebody like AJ Styles or Shinsuke Nakamura because people are going to know who they are, especially wrestling fans.
It's not going to necessarily be a who's that kind of deal.
A veritable who's that of wrestlers, yeah.
Most certainly. All right, real quick, I do want to mention this. It's cold outside, but things are heating up at George's Cards and Collectibles. For example, Eagles football fans can meet former Eagles wide receiver Fred Barnett at the Neshaminy Mall Sports Cards and Collectibles show that runs Valentine's Day weekend. Barnett will appear Saturday, February 13th from 2 to 3 p.m. on the stage in front of Macy's. And didn't forget about the wrestling fans. Saturday, February 27th, former ECW star The Sandman will appear at the Neshaminy Mall in George's from 1 to 3 p.m. George's Cards and Collectibles has been the leading collectibles store in the tri-state area for over 25 years. Check out their 3 locations, their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, also in the Oxford Valley Mall next to the Sears Court, and in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. Also, you can get the latest updates from George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook as well as georgescollectibles.com.
Sounds like a...
I heard you gasp in excitement and anticipation
but
when
then
I mentioned
remembered,
the Sandman.
oh, wait, it's a Saturday. We might not be able to go. We probably won't be able
There's
to go.
an event that day at the factory.
Yep, we're not going to be able to go.
That's a definite no on that.
Yeah.
Nope, that's when Abyss will be making his return to the factory.
Yes, correct.
Who will he be defending the Monster Factory title against? Find out 1 week from tonight. Ooh. Yeah, a little teaser there. How about that? Oh, goodness. No, there was something else I was going to... Oh, yeah, I had another factoid. That's right, from the Royal Rumble, because we've been throwing those out there. The Quest for Gold. This is another trivia one, so you might have to put your, as Bob and Doug McKenzie would say, put your thinking toque on, eh? Only one Royal Rumble winner has never won any championship in WWE. Who would that be? I feel like I should be getting the Jeopardy music up for this one.
I was going to say, that did Jim Duggan win a title?
Very good. Jim Duggan was the only one to not win a title.
What title did Big John Studd win in WWE?
Big John Studd won the WWF Tag Team Championship. He was one of the 2 executioners back in the mid-'70s.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a tough stumper, but you just pulled it right on out of there. Very good. And kind of playing off of that, every Rumble winner except for 3 have won at least 1 world title in WWE, and you just mentioned 2 of them, Duggan and Studd. And the 3rd has been mentioned in this program today.
Perfect. No, not Perfect. Perfect never won a Rumble. What am I saying?
No, he was supposed to in 90, but...
Brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Winners that have never won a world title.
See, the only clue I could give pretty much gives it away.
Well, okay. Which question did I answer earlier that it was like a...
Actually, it was brought up by our only caller. Ed from Northeast.
Darn it. No, I can't remember.
Well, since it's kind of ironic that Fastlane is coming up because he'll probably be taking the bus there. The express bus.
Lex.
The Lex Express bus. Lex Luger. who didn't get it done after co-winning the Rumble with Bret Hart in '94. And we've got just enough time for your favorite segment and mine.
Birthdays.
Off mic on that one? Just birthdays. Like
Birthdays. That better, Fearon?
that's a take that we're keeping.
Yeah. No, that should be. I wish that was a drop. That would just be like.
Oh, don't worry, it will be.
Good.
It will be soon enough. 2 for you today. On this date in 1983, James Michael Curtin was born. The former 2-time TNA X Division champion known as Rockstar Spud turns 33 today.
Good for you. Good for you. Happy birthday.
Yes, bravo.
Bravo.
Cheers and all that.
Hello.
And on this date in 1987, Rebecca Quinn was born.
Oh, I find that's excellent.
The former NXT women's wrestler and current WWE diva known as Becky Lynch turns 29 today.
Have a excellent birthday, Becky Lynch.
I'm pretty sure she will. I just have that strange hunch. And there was one other Rumble fact that I was going to throw out there, but it looks like we won't have time for it. It just has to do with time spent in a Rumble doing double duty, having a match and being in the Rumble. Ooh. Yeah, the Iron Man for that goes to your boy Dean Ambrose, who had the 20-plus minute grueling last man standing match and the third longest time in the Rumble at just under a half hour.
There we
Talk
go.
about earning his paycheck there.
Oh, yeah.
And we've earned our paycheck here. Well, I'm the only one of the two of us who gets a paycheck here, but you get out what you put into it. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah.
That explains a lot. All right, so we're going to get out of here. We're going to make our way for Ted Efaw, who is cracking up in the corner as the insanity continues here. We will be back next week. I'm 99% sure we will be broadcasting from the Monster Factory live on location if Lucas hasn't done me in first by that point. We'll see, though. It might be a solo show. Like, hey, can you show me how to do this engineering thing? Okay. All right, you're done. That's enough. Play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock and all's well.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB.